Hey friends, it's Hope, and I'm here today to do a very exciting non-spoiler book review over The Martian by Andy Weir. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, Hope, I'm just gonna wait and see the movie and hold off on reading the book because I'm not really interested in this science-y type of book that deals with somebody being stuck on Mars. Well, I'm gonna stop you right there, my friend, because that is the exact same thing I thought, and I am so glad I gave this book a second chance. You see, a few months ago, I got The Martian from the library and it just kind of sat on my bookshelf and I didn't really read it. Like all library books, they eventually are due back at the library. So naturally, I returned it back to the library, and fast forward a few months later, I'm about ready to get on a plane and fly back to Louisiana, and I realized I have no book to read while in the airport. So I ran over to my used bookstore and I found The Martian by Andy Weir, and guys, like I said, I'm so glad I gave this a second chance, and I'm about to tell you why I think you guys should go out and get this book immediately. So let's talk about what this book is all about. We follow Mark Watney. He is an astronaut and his crew have gone up to Mars, and while they landed on Mars, a huge dust storm comes in that makes them abort their mission. And while they are aborting, Mark Watney is presumed dead. But surprise, surprise, Mark Watney is a survivor and he wakes up alone on Mars. So yeah, that's pretty scary, waking up in a place where you know that you are the only person there. But not only is Mark the only person on Mars and like the lone survivor on the planet, but the aircraft that he went in and that was left on Mars was only designed to last him like 31 days. So now Mark is in quite a predicament as he realizes that he is now going to have to grow plants and get water and make sure he can survive, because really the only hope he has to get rescued is by the next mission, which I think is called Eris 4, but it just so happens that it takes 4 full years to get to Mars. So he has to make 31 days of life support expand for 4 years. So with just knowing what this book is about, you can tell that it is pretty thrilling and it will have you on the edge of your seat because you are constantly going to be rooting for Mark to really excel. But when you are the only person on a planet that is not known for life-sustaining things, you will run into some challenges, and boy, does Mark run into some challenges. One of my favorite things about this book was his character. Mark Watney's character could have been so whiny and complain all the time and just be sad and sulking and all those things that usually drive me crazy when it comes to characters who are down on their luck. But thank you, Andy Weir, for not making Mark Watney like that. Guys, I had no idea that this book was going to make me crack up, so much to the point where I had tears streaming down my face. His sense of humor in this book was just on point. Obviously, the situation that Mark Watney is in, things are crucial, it's life or death. Pretty much anything he does is going to dictate if he's going to live to the next day. And I love how Mark realizes this and inserts his sense of humor into this book. I honestly didn't expect to get so attached to his character, but I did, and it was so easy to really root him on throughout the book, which was another reason why I love this book so much. Just the sense of camaraderie that I had as the reader, and then reading about people around the world or people within NASA or his astronaut crew, just like how much they really wanted to get behind him and cheer him on and figure out a way to save him, was just so beautifully done. And so much so that at the very end of this book, like the last page of this book, I was crying. Tears were streaming down my face and I had goosebumps all over my body. Another thing that I really loved about this book was the fact that a problem didn't arise and he would just solve it instantly. This book was very realistic in the fact that he was going to have to be taking some risks and he didn't know if the outcome was going to be a positive or a negative one. And we had a really good mixture of positive and negative outcomes. I will say that there was an overwhelmingly amount of scientific talk in this book, which made my eyeballs cross quite often. But don't let that scare you, because I know it was a little intimidating for me at first, but I got used to it, and actually I really enjoyed the scientific lingo, even though I may not have understood 100% what was going on and everything that was going down. But boy, I felt like I could work for NASA after reading this book. With that said, after reading this, I could not wait to see the movie. I already wanted to watch the movie when it came out, but it wasn't like #1 priority. But after reading the story, like I immediately wanted more. I just wanted to experience it all over again. And I really encourage you guys that if you haven't seen the movie trailer, hold off on watching the trailer. If you've seen it and you still want to read the book, totally okay. You will be spoiled on a few little things, but overall, I don't think it will take away from your reading experience. If you guys can't already tell, I rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was so beautifully done. Guys, this is Andy Weir's debut novel. That is like mind-blowing to me that someone can write this like the very first go around. How it was told, I can totally see this turning into a movie adaptation, and I'm so excited to see how it does get adapted. Friends, obviously I highly encourage you guys to go pick up The Martian by Andy Weir. I had such a fun time reading it, and like I said, it was just a really great thrilling book that won't give you nightmares. Some thrilling books will give you nightmares. This will not give you nightmares, but instead it will make you laugh and it will make you fall in love with Mark Watney's character, and it really will make you feel like you were there rooting him along and you're there experiencing the things that he's going through, and you will feel like you could work for NASA or really be thankful that you were not an astronaut. I don't know, maybe either or both. Mark Watney has a special place in my heart now, and I'm sure he will have a special place in yours. If you guys have read this book, definitely let me know what you all thought, and if you guys are planning on seeing the movie, I do believe it comes out October 2nd, and of course, I would highly suggest reading the book before seeing the movie because it was just one of those ones that was really so great. Thank you, friends, for watching this non-spoiler book review over The Martian by Andy Weir. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and talk to me below if you guys have read this book too. I will see you guys soon. Bye.